I loved that episode so much because I got to dry my whole wedding, like all my girls got ready in a public bathroom at a park, and I dried my hair with the hand dryer. That seriously was one of the best episodes.
Oh, mine? The pilot, I really liked filming the pilot
Yeah.
because that was sort of like, you know, the show coming to life and kind of seeing what it was going to be like. Joy's wedding was great. Anything that I got to get drunk enough and break dance. All the episodes where I got to wear the Earl yellow suit and break dance, and the cops episodes were great too.
Yeah. And I
Cops was on.
Cops is on. I will say this too. I just rewatched the pilot a few weeks ago. To this day, it is one of the greatest pilots ever.
I actually have a question for Ethan. So I think we can all tell just by looking at you. If you weren't already aware, you have lost a lot of weight. I think you deserve.
Thank you.
At any point were you worried? Because a big part of your career, people take TV and movies and they assume the big guy's the funny guy. Were you worried about your career, about how you might lose some of your roles because you're no longer going to be the fat funny guy? Now, the muscular funny guy might not be cast as well or something along those lines.
Yeah, but I mean, I've played the fat funny guy so much that I don't need to do that anymore. But sure, I've had that concern. And I also lost weight multiple times and gained weight back. But about 8 years ago, I just was like, I don't want to be heavy like I was anymore, and so it kind of is inconsequential. If it affects my career, then I'm happy with that trade-off. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, with Ethan, it doesn't matter what weight he is, he's a brilliant actor. And so it doesn't affect his career like a lot of people would think it was. I mean, I can look back and go watch Remember the Titans and sing with him, when he was singing in the locker room. And then I can look at him in Earl, and I can look at him now and whatever he does. And at the end of the day, he's brilliant in whatever he plays, no matter what way he is.
So I'm that weirdo with a two-parter. The first was, how was the food on set on My Name Is Earl?
Amazing. I got fat and was pregnant. Like, I got fat real quick.
I always love asking about the food on stuff like this at these panels because
We had an amazing chef.
awesome. The second one is actually directly for Ethan. Are you planning on, like, in future roles, anything that's more action-based? I have no plans. I'm not opposed to it. I did a horror movie recently where I'm very physical in it. That'll be out in the next year. And I played an ex-Navy SEAL in a movie not too long ago. That was fun. Not really action, but potential action, I guess. I just want to say thank you so much. I've been a huge fan of both y'all ever since Mall Rags. Brody was one of my life models. And thank you so much for all the entertainment that all of you provided over the years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this question's for Ethan. My favorite ever scene, was behind the scenes moment, was when you were with Burt Reynolds in season 2. And if everyone doesn't know, Burt Reynolds really does slap. He slaps all actors. And he goes to the next point and says, hey, if you guys need me to, I can hit him to San Marino and your eyes can shoot open real wide. And then just go to him and says, hey, if you could, Glendale's fine. Did you have any moments where you just kind of went off the cuff and it made it into the show?
Not really, honestly. You know, maybe with some, not with words. The words were all pretty well put together by the writers. But there would be like physical stuff. Like I think I wrote Randy was here on the wall in one episode because they didn't give me anything to do. I'm in the scene, but I didn't have to talk. And so I just had to find stuff to do. And then Randy did that a bunch. He wrote Randy was here a lot, or at least a few times. But I don't think I got any of my own words into the show.
Thank you.
Question directed towards Jason. Do you still skateboard by chance? I know you.
I do, yes.
What's y'all's favorite movie that y'all done outside of the movie? Earl? Like, what's your favorite movie that you've done?
My favorite movie that I've done?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. I can't name one. I like most of them. Can't name one. You know, Mallrats is important to me because that was my very first movie. Yeah, I mean, there's different time periods, different memories, different experiences. And so you value each project differently. And I value all of them, or most of them anyway. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite. But in terms of like, you know, fondness or like an extra kind of importance would be, I think, Mallrats, because it was my first movie. And then, you know, Earl for the experience and the, you know, and just the friendships and, you know, that's a very important part of my life too, is Earl. Yeah.
Hey, Crabman.
Hey, Earl.
So we all know that the show was not supposed to end on a cliffhanger like that. Where would you see your characters today? Today, Joy would actually finally earn her own premium meal delivery. And she would also be a grandmother to Dodge and Earl Jr.'s, you know, kids. Probably still live with her, or at least in the trailer next to her.
Before I said, on the last panel, I said that Crabman would probably be back out during his little, CIA spy stuff. But I think that the Earl Jr. was his kid. And if that was the case, somehow that was a mistake, the whole thing you guys found out. So, and if that was the case, then he would still be back in Camden or wherever Joy was.
And Randy becomes president of the United States of America. That's all.
Thank you.
I'd love to see that.
Anybody hear me?
My question is pretty much for anybody on the panel who can answer it best. What happened in season 5? We're left to be continued. So, what happened?
Ethan's good at that. You take it away.
Well, I don't know all the details of season 5. I know how the show would end, and I know who, unfortunately, your dad was. Don't say sorry. Dave Chappelle. And then, you know, Earl would continue to cross stuff off his list, and then he would become frustrated and feel like he wasn't accomplishing anything. And in that episode, somebody would come to him and make amends for a wrong that they did to him. And then at the end of the episode, they pull out a list, and he goes, "Why do you have a list?" And then in subsequent episodes, he tracks down many other people that have lists. And it comes all the way back to him in this first sort of full circle thing where he inspired this and started other people on this path to make up for the bad things that they had done. And that's kind of how it would have ended.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. So I have a question. I have a question for the whole cast. So this is the first time when I watched it, but how do you like working with the cast of Raising Hope?
They were really fun.
They
That
were
was really
fun.
fun.
Martha's like an old friend of mine, so but she was going through a breakup at the time, and I brought her. She forgot her. She lives in New York, and she wanted to. She left her guitar, and so I'm like, oh, I'll bring you mine. I thought it like I had two guitars. I had a regular, and then I had a blue one that I bought because I had taken lessons, and I was like, I don't like this. Maybe if I had a blue one, because blue is my favorite color. So we went and we bought a blue one. I still can't fucking play it. So I took the blue one to her on set, and I never got it back. Yeah, that's fine. I can't play it anyway. But they're all very sweet, and I think Cloris Leachman might. So my ex, my twin's father, she gave him a pole dance at a CAA party. Straight up. One of the most exciting women you could have ever. So I think that in general was cool for all of us to be able to work with Flores. But I mean, any set that's Greg Garcia's is a great set. So we all had it.
It was, of course, a massive bummer when Earl got canceled. It was a surprise to everybody and it was pretty devastating. And so getting to play on Raising Hope kind of felt like it was still in that world, a little bit of like an extension of Earl. And so being able to sort of bounce over into that universe and still kind of feel like Earl was a little bit alive, that was really cool.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, cute stuff. Talk to me.
I'm Avery, and me and my sister found y'all on social media. And how do y'all feel that your show is kind of on social media?
I'm sorry. I couldn't.
I don't, she wants to know how we feel about our show being on social media. I don't understand this. You're watching full episodes on social media?
Like on my Twitter.
Is it just like scenes, like a 30-second clip,
Or is it a whole episode?
No, it's just like a 30-second.
Well, I know that Joy has gone viral numerous times in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Can you see my phone? And then he goes, yeah, and I'm like, perfect, let's go. There's a lot of, I mean, TikTok, like I don't have TikTok, but I keep getting text messages from friends of mine saying you're going viral. I'm so old, I don't even like, I have no idea what to do with that. But it's really cool that your generation gets to see it because of social media.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Apparently on TikTok, I don't have TikTok either, but apparently on TikTok, there's an Earl page where, he's doing the dancing.
Yes.
And in the comments, you can request a song and the account posts that same breakdancing clip every single day. It's a different song. And you can request a song in the comments. Somebody showed that to me. That's
Yeah.
pretty classic. Pretty classic.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, this is a two-parter for Jason and Ethan. Jason, what was like your fondest memory of working with Kevin Smith?
I would say Mallrats, like I had mentioned before, because it was my very first movie. And it was my first time sort of like being on a set at that capacity and having dialogue to memorize. It was just a very exciting time. Also, just that era of filmmaking, the 90s, it was just a really cool, different time. Movies like, when we were filming Mallrats, Fargo was being shot not too far away in Minnesota. And it was just a cool time for filmmaking, and it was really exciting for me to feel like I was finally a part of that, with that being my first film.
Yeah, the nineties was much more raw.
I was so excited.
It was awesome.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
90s kid.
Yeah.
love it.
Ethan, what was it like working with, an incredible actor like Ed Norton in American History X?
It was fun. He's very smart. And I had a great time with him. And we did another movie together called Mother West Brooklyn, which was also fun. He's a really nice guy.
Well, it's great to see you in person, and thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you so much.
I have a question. That's why I'm up here. Thanks Carson Daly for inventing karma.
What was that?
Carson Daly invented karma.
Yeah, nah.
Thank God somebody.
I never saw him after that, no.
Oh. What do you say?
Okay, I have a question. One of my favorite episodes of Raising Hope is the birthday party episode because y'all come together and form the band for children's parties. I was curious, was that like a fun and cathartic experience for y'all getting to come back together and film together?
Just sitting on this panel, just being able to fly with Jay yesterday on his birthday. By the way, it was his birthday. Just being able to sit next to my boys makes me happy. So being able to go to set again and feel like we were, on a, like what he said earlier, like anytime you're on a Greg Garcia set, it feels like Earl, because Earl is what started everything he did. I mean, he had a show before that called Yes Dear, but was nothing like Earl. He creates a set that anybody would want to be a part of and is lucky to be a part of. So being able to go to the Raise and Hope set and do anything, even if we were just standing in the background and playing background artists, I think we would have all been happy.
Thank you guys very much for being here, by the way. Just seeing y'all together is awesome. Watching the show with my dad was a big bonding moment for me. So that was incredible seeing you guys here today. First off, Mr. Suplee, I'm also a fellow Ethan. Met you earlier, forgot to say that. Howdy. One for everyone here. Do y'all have y'all been in countless shows and movies and everything all together from Disney and Kevin Smith, teenage spoof movies. However it's been, do y'all have any mannerisms from any of y'all's characters y'all played that have kind of lingered that you had to get away from?
I can't get away from Joy for the rest of my life.
But I think that Joy can't get away from.
Truth.
Randy had a deviated septum, so his mouth was always open, and I find myself with my mouth off. So I don't know if chicken or the egg came first. I also have a deviated septum that I need to have addressed.
Remember
I
how,
find myself telling myself to close my mouth.
yeah, remember how, Randy was always in the background, like. And was it Garsha that asked you?
Yeah.
Greg Garcia, we call him Garsha. He was like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I don't have anything to do. And I figured Randy's got a deviated septum, which is why his mouth's always open and he's always looking for aliens.
It's for Catalina.
He was like, perfect, great, keep doing it.
I've given up working for aliens.
And I just kept on breakdancing.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
And Eddie just kept on smoking weed like crap in wood.
Well, I recently stopped doing no video, but
I know, but back then it was funny.
But back then, yes, I was smoking before Crab Man, I think. But one thing I definitely I do now is I kind of say to myself, what would Crab Man do in situations? I don't know why, but that's just stuck with me ever since.
The crab man was so calm about everything.
Yeah, he really was. It's helped me become a calmer person.
Actually, just real quick for Jason. What do you think is the most important? Passing on the good message of Carson Daly, inventing the chocolate covered pretzel, or reinventing the world of skateboard with helping out with blind?
I didn't catch any of that, sorry.
What do you think is more prevalent in your life? Preaching the good word of Carson Daly, or helping out with the skateboarding industry back in the early days with blind, or the chocolate covered pretzels?
Well, I would say, preaching the message of doing good things is probably the most important thing. Yeah. Yeah, and then skateboarding, of course. And then I would say, offering people shitty chocolate covered pretzels with a third up. Get that over.
Thank you guys. Y'all are awesome.
Thanks.
Hi, my question is for Eddie. I personally know you from Home Alone, the Holiday Heist, and I was wondering how it was to play on that movie.
Wow. Right. Again, like Jamie mentioned before about working with Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I worked with.
I think that's kind of how I felt working with, oh my God, what's the actor's name? I'm forgetting McDowell. He was in Clockwork Orange. Yes, working with him in that movie was probably the highlight, Debbie Matzer was in it too. That was cool working with her. Mazer, yes, Debbie Mazer. The two of them, that was the highlight, just being able to work with legends, so. And
Sometimes you do jobs just because you want to work with certain people and you don't even read the script and then you go, maybe I should have read the script.
it was my first time going to Canada, so that was cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys. So my son is a big skateboarder, and he wanted to be here today to talk to the inventor of the 360 flip. Oh, what was it like to be, well, not the inventor, the popularizer.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So what was it like the first time you did that, and when is the last time you've done that?
It was very exciting to have learned that trick, and I did it by accident. And then I sort of, once I got it dialed in, I was really excited to show my friends that I was able to do it. I was probably about 16 or 17 at the time. So that was like as exciting as it could have gotten at that point for me as a young skateboarder. And the last time I did one was very recently. Yeah.
For real?
Oh, I still go, boy. Nice. I still go.
That's great. And you were great on the residence, Steve.
Oh, thank you. Streaming now on Netflix.
This question is actually for both Jason and Eddie. First, Jason, mind screaming, Alvin.
I told y'all I charge for that. Come on.
The next question is because you're also Syndrome in The Incredibles. So how disappointed were you the way it ended when, I don't mean to spoil it, but do you mind if I spoil the ending or just,
Do you think of The Incredibles that came out 21 years ago?
he basically got sucked in the plane.
I know, I was devastated. I was as devastated as I was when Earl got canceled. Syndrome should have been in the sequel. Let's go.
Yes,
Come on.
should have.
Yeah,
100%.
but cape, you can't wear a cape. And so, yeah, lesson learned. Yeah, I can't wear a cape.
And for Eddie, this is actually for another movie you were in. Would You Rather? What was it like to be in that movie? Because when I first saw you in that movie, I was like, holy crap, how did Crabman get in that situation this time?
Story of my life. What was it like? It was great. Again, I enjoyed working, and I got to work with legends in that movie as well. And I can't remember their names either, but those scenes, yeah. But yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, we filmed in California too, in Silver Lake or something. So I didn't have to go travel, and I could be at home and stuff. So it was a great time.
Back when we actually shot with all the.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna jump in here real quick. Now, Jamie talked about it was Jason's birthday, but Jeremy Long, who is the founder of the Expo, wanted to get a birthday cake, and he wanted everybody to sing happy birthday. So here we go on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Hold on. If we're gonna do it, we have to do it the way Earl did it. Don't say anything. Ah. 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 Do you remember that? You kept trying to sing happy birthday. Ah.
Which episode? What season?
I can't remember. Who cares? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
All the people, whoever else has a birthday out there.
Happy 95th birthday, Jeff.
That's amazing. Thank you. I want to share this.
It's
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. This is for y'all. Let's see if each person out there can get a slice of this. I'm trying to break some records here.
Good enough.
Well, hello there, everyone.
Hi.
I was actually 6 and 10 years old when you guys' show came on the air. But I started to rewatch it. Well, I started watching it, and I found it on Hulu and Disney Plus. And my family cannot stop bugging me about it. Why do you watch this show, Dakota, every time at home? Well, because one, I fell in love with Jason. The man was funny. Ethan was kind of like me, going through the stuff I'm still going through. And Eddie, you is just funny being crab man, who you are. And Jamie, she didn't mean to be mean in the show, but that was just her.
She was a lovable bitch.
You own who you are, baby. But I wanted to send a positive message and a bad message. I told the guy, I said, by the way, happy birthday to you, Jason. Thank you so much. Thank you. I also dressed up like you, buddy.
You look amazing.
I represent you, bro.
Thank you.
I had a panic attack almost last night. I almost could not come to see you. I was telling my one friend at the door that I said I was desperate to come meet you, Jason, and the rest of the whole My Name is Earl. Because I can literally describe every episode as when I almost was trying to make my own list to follow your own step-by-step method.
It's never too late to make a list.
And but my name's Dakota, but I use Earl because it's kind of cool and it's easy short. But
Hey, thank you for watching.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Dakota, for making it out today. We appreciate you, Dakota.
Hello, my question's for Ethan. What is your most memorable moment of filming Remember the Titans?
Two, I got to hug Denzel Washington. And then that we filmed it during the World Series, and we were shooting in Atlanta, and the World Series was between the Braves and the Yankees. Is that correct? The Braves are.
Yeah.
So the majority of the people on the set were rooting for the Atlanta team, Braves, I think. And Denzel was a New York guy. And game 3 or 4, at some point, Denzel came to set waving a broom around, which really upset the majority of the rest of the people. And I thought that was fantastic. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We had a lot of questions. I had questions for everybody. And I had questions about butterfly effect, tour, and Jamie, I just have to say, I think that you are my sister.
I'm your sister.
You're my sister.
Where's all the questions? I thought he had a lot more questions.
I know.
All right, my question is for Jason. I want to know, was the mustache real?
Oh, of course it was real.
All
That's the
right.
best mustache in TV history.
Oh,
Forget about Mac and PI, man.
I said this on the last panel. It was so great. So we had to present at the Emmys one year, and I was looking for him, and I turned around and was like, they purposely sat him next to Tom Selleck that year. They were the only two men in the entire freaking building that had mustaches. And I will say Earl wore it best.
So I want to congratulate you on the residency. You were hilarious.
Thank you so
It took
much.
us a few minutes, and I texted my husband. I'm like, "That's Jason Lee." And
Streaming now on Netflix.
I thank
I
y'all.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Hi, I first wanted to say thank y'all. So I'm a trauma therapist mostly, and I work with seriously mentally ill.
Can you help me? Sorry.
When I go home, I'm really disconnected from my family, and finding something that everyone will actually watch that isn't mind numbing is really hard. And you guys kind of gave that to us, because the other night, on top of me being in a better mood, being able to watch y'all and not feel like my brain is sucking out of my brain, our 11-year-old came up and was like, "Earl," at dinner time, so it was awesome.
That's great.
So what is y'all's idea on karma?
What?
What is y'all's idea on karma? Like personally?
So when I was 15, I lived in Japan on a contract working. And then when I was 20, so right after we shot, it was in 2005, we shot the pilot. I went to China for 5 months and found out during the film that I was doing there that this pilot got picked up. My house has always been, even prior, actually it was after I was 15 and was in Japan, but I have always had water, earth, and Buddhas and like my house looks like the Dalai Lama decorated it. I've always felt very peaceful around it, and I believe, I don't believe in one certain religion. I love learning about all the different religions though. And the one that I love the most is Buddhism. Because the golden rule, the only thing that I could link to every single religion I've ever read about and learned about was do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, right? And Buddhism is about exactly that. It's you do good things happen. Do bad things happen, which is right what that's what started Earl's list. So to me, it's the calmest religion. It doesn't ask much of you. It just asks you to be a good person and be present. And so I've always loved it. And when I read the script, aside from the fact that my grandfather Pressly's name was Earl, I loved it immediately because I do believe that karma is the one universal religion that everybody can agree on.
Yeah, I believe in karma, therefore it's real.
Do good things and good things happen.
Hello. Thank you for making such a great show. And my question is for the Crab Man. Hey, Crab Man. Your character was a genius on the show, and you always had hilarious facts on deck. And I just want to know, do you remember any? And if you don't, I remember my favorite one. That was definitely a dromedary camp.
Wait, what was it that you just said? What was the?
Do you remember any of the facts that Crabman just had ready to go on the show? Like you were a genius on that show.
No, I don't remember them.
No? Well,
But people tell me them all the time though.
I don't remember the line, but it was great. Earl and I were trying to get votes for something. So, do you remember what I'm talking about? It was a voting thing.
Oh, yeah,
And you
yeah.
were sitting on a couch.
Electoral college.
The electoral college. And we were like, Earl and I were arguing, and then he said something to Crabman, and Crabman was like, the electoral college is a da, 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 da," and we were like, and I looked at him and I'm like, sweet.
Thank you.
That was a good way.
All right, well, that was our last question. So make sure you go by their booth, get pictures, get photos, go by and see each and every one of them. If you would, give our cast of the My Name is Earl show a big round of applause. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out, y'all. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, are you? Okay. I probably wasn't on it yet. I've probably seen y'all's, your name brought up. There's our yeah. Like it's, I could, yeah. I go home and I'm like, I can't right now. Yeah. It's my family, like, I'm like, don't talk to her. I'm gonna just. That's your. So, she's not mine. No. So, yeah, yeah. I'm going to tell if anybody needed any soft off.
No.
Yeah, but find out.
You're gonna have the bag, right?
Yeah, my mom here, I've got. Yeah, y'all are so like, yep. It's not a. It's and people don't get it. And I where do you tolerate that? I'm like, because there's not a tolerate. It's not that simple. That's they're communicating. Yeah. I'll see if I can get your name. I'm sure. All right. Jed called us. There's no other panel here.
Oh, there is.
No, so we do have to clear out of here, but Jed called us. And I figured we could.
Want me to double check? Fine.
We don't have anything till 3. What up?
Oh. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I watched all the old movies. I'm trying to find out watch it again.
I think those are on DVD. Yeah. I don't know if they are, maybe. Very cool.
Like a weeks ago, for some registered up scale, but the same. You want to check it out? It's
Very
real
cool.
estate.
But I'll be getting a picture with this.
All right, I'll see you there, Dakota. Good to see you again. Jason, nice to see you. All right, I'll see you there, Dakota.
I love the show.
Is it your birthday yesterday?
Make it back.
Happy birthday. Really? The basketball side? Yeah. Al Pacino. Al Pacino. Yeah, Al Pacino. Thanks, Dakota. Your name's Zelwick. All April 25th. Thank you so much. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, close to that. And
Oh, I forgot he's in there.
Also, the field camera really has to over it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just like the sound out, it's not really doing much past the end of the VIP section clear. So the time is. Figure it out.
Complete nerve authority.